Hey there, Northwest family. Welcome to Lunch Break. I'm so excited to be talking to you today. Coming from my office here this wonderful, wonderful day here in the middle of May, almost in June, if you can believe it. Summer is upon us. This weekend, we have one service. I know most of you know that, but just as a reminder, one service this weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. We're all going to be together in one place. I love one service Sundays. They're so much fun. It's 10 a.m. this weekend, so don't forget. If you normally come to our 11 o'clock service and you come at 11, we'll be pretty much done. So make sure you come just that hour earlier, 10 a.m. It's going to be fantastic. We're continuing our talk through the book of Mark, and we're talking about eternity this week, and so that should be super cool. Today I want to get you thinking about something. I wanted to get you thinking about something in preparation for our upcoming series on rest and on Sabbath. And I want to read you a passage of scripture that you may have never caught this before. Okay, so I want you to think about this. Just listen to this. All right, this is Genesis chapter 2, talking about the creation of the world and how God made everything. And most of us know this story. You know, God made the world in 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested. And some of us even know the days of creation. We know, day one, there's light, and then there's the sky, and then there's the dry land with the plants and the trees and stuff. And then there's sun, moon, and stars, and the fish and birds, and then animals and humans. And then on day 7, God rests, right? Listen to this passage. And this, I caught this, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and it just blew my mind when it dawned on me. Listen to this. Genesis chapter 2, right at the end of the creation narrative. It says this, starting in verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And now here's the key, verse 2. And on the seventh day, God finished his work that he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all his work that he had done in creation. Now, at first blush, that may not seem all that earth-shattering, but go back and think about this for a second. We almost always, and I was guilty of this, think that God finished his work on day 6, and then day 7 was a day of rest. But that's not what the text says. It says, on the seventh day, God finished his work. On day 7, creation wasn't done. The work wasn't finished until day 7. Think about that. It wasn't just that God worked really, really hard and then he got a day off, right? Creation wasn't complete until God created Sabbath. Until God, that was his last act of creation, is he created rest. He created the need for rest. He created the need for downtime. He created the Sabbath. That was part of his creation. And just when I got that, when I started thinking about that, it began to shift my thought process as it relates to this thing called Sabbath. Because I'm a worker. I love to work. It's hard for me to take downtime. I feel lazy sometimes. But then I started thinking about, no, wait a second. God intentionally created rest, not as a reward or not as okay, yeah, whatever. It's, got to take a day off. It was part of creation. It's part of who we are created to be. It's part of us being image bearers. It's a necessity, just as oxygen and sunlight and food. God created all of those things in order for us to function. He also created rest. And so therefore, we don't function properly without rest, without Sabbath, without taking that time and stopping from our labor. We don't function like we were created. So I want you to think about that today. Think about that. And I know everybody's so busy and everybody's got so much going on. Like, I can't take a day off. You're crazy. That is a pipe dream. If I can get rest, whatever. But think about this idea. Begin to unpack that about, if we don't take rest, we don't function the way we're created to function. God intentionally created Sabbath, so therefore he sees it as important. And then I want to read this to you as well. There's this book that I've been reading called The Sabbath. It was written by this old Jewish rabbi, and it's really cool. I want you to wrestle through this quote because I really want to encourage all of us to get into an abide group as we work through Sabbath. We're going to need each other in this, but just think about this. Here's this quote. He who wants to enter the holiness of the day must first lay down the profanity of clattering commerce, of being yanked to toil. He must go away from the screech of dissonant days, from the nervousness and fury of acquisitiveness and the betrayal in embezzling his own life. He must say farewell to manual work and learn to understand that the world has already been created and will survive without the help of man. 6 days a week we wrestle with the world, wringing profit from the earth. On the Sabbath, we especially care for the seed of eternity planted in the soul. The world has our hands, but our soul belongs to someone else. 6 days a week, we seek to dominate the world. On the seventh day, we try to dominate the self. Whew. So good. Such good thoughts. I want you to just begin to mull that over in your mind as you prepare for this weekend, as you prepare for Monday, which is for many of us a day off, as Memorial Day, as we begin to step into this series on Sabbath. Begin to pray and begin to talk to God. Okay, God, how do I do this? How do I work this in with all that I have going on with work and kids and job and school and summer and all the things? God, begin to unpack some of this stuff for me so that I can step into the holiness of the day as we talk about Sabbath. All right, make sure you get into a Abide group. You can do that through our app. Sign up that way. Remember, one service on Sunday, 10 a.m. I can't wait to see you all. I hope you have an amazing rest of the week. Know that I'm praying for you and that I love you.